Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. It's Time with Eric and Marie, and happy Saturday to all of you.
Greetings, everybody.
Greetings, everybody. I like that. So sorry we couldn't come your way yesterday. We couldn't upload a video yesterday because I had to take my car for servicing. It was due for the yearly servicing, and I did the MOT. And by God's grace, it passed nicely. So I'm a happy bunny right here. Yeah, what are we talking about today? I think we continue with what we last uploaded, isn't it? That same topic.
Which is the Teesa, is it Tessa Risa?
Tessa Risa.
That story. Yeah.
I've been catching up still on it, and it's an interesting one. I've not begun doing the 1 to 50 thing. I saw a video this morning where somebody has uploaded a whole 1 to 50 part series. And the lady is really a hit on the internet, surprisingly. How many views? About 400 million views?
Over 400 million views, I hear.
Wow. She's done really well. And the topic is, what she talks about is quite intriguing. I think that's why a lot of people are interested in it. Yeah.
I think it's relatable, even with the youth, because I was mentioning it to our younger daughter, the youngest daughter, who's only 16. In fact, she turned 17 this year. And she said, "Oh, Mom, I've heard about it. So many young girls her age, and even the youth, not just young girls, but the youth her age are reviewing it," which I think is a good thing, because then they get to learn something from it ahead of they getting into relationships themselves. So she even sent to me a link to watch. Is this Asian girl she's also gotten like 1.6 million views from her review. I haven't watched the full version yet. But yeah, everybody's, as Eric said, everybody's is intrigued. People are asking questions like, how did this go on for the length of time that it did? Why did she stay that long? What is wrong with him? For me, I'm beginning to ask, if they say somebody's a pathological liar, is it something that one can be treated, so that they stop, or is it biologicals? What's the science behind it? I just don't know. Eric thinks it's laziness, and
I think it's a choice, basically. I think it's a choice where people make up their mind to be. Why aren't we all that type? Why aren't we all liars to that extent?
Yeah,
I
so
think
people just want to brag.
Exactly. When you tell yourself a lie for so long, it becomes a part of your system. You're part of your DNA. You accept everything to be a lie within you, and you carry on with it. That's what I personally think, anyway. Because we've all got choices to make, and why aren't we taking that easy route to lie about almost everything and anything? I mean, for those of you who are not aware or familiar with the story this story that the lady has told, it's about a lady who met a gentleman on two internet social media platforms. First on Facebook and then on Hinge. They spoke for some time, got together, and just before the lockdown in COVID, they decided to move in together.
It's all in part one anyway.
It's in part one, isn't it?
Yeah, if you watch the first part of the video on our channel,
exactly. But for those of you who are just catching up on this one, just to let you follow our story. So yeah, everything has been talked about in part one. And just watch the first video and then jump onto this one quickly to just get filled in on what happened. Where I struggle to understand from the lady's point of view is, why did she fall for almost everything? Because when you look at all the lies, it's like the guy was doing the right things that the lady had on her list. It's like saying the right things to her ears. She's been expecting to meet a guy who is self-sufficient, who's got his own company, who does home chores. So the guy kept ticking all the boxes for the lady. Is it something that all women go through, whereby if, let's say, you see a guy who's ticking all the boxes, you don't question it because at that time, as they say, love is blind. You fall in so deeply in it that you're not seeing any red flags. Is that what women go through?
I don't know, because I haven't experienced it, so it's difficult to answer. But I think, because if somebody's ticking all your boxes and it's what you want, why would you question that? They're doing what you want. So you want them, you're looking for a guy, or you're dreaming, you're aspiring to get married or date a guy who can buy you a house. You've met somebody, they say they're financially capable of purchasing you a property. Why would you question that? You'll be excited, you'll be over the moon. You say it's your dream to go to London. They're promising to get you a ticket to go to London. Why would you question that? I think the only time you would start questioning it is when they start giving you excuses, stories as to why they're not fulfilling those promises.
Yeah, my follow-up question was to do with that.
Yeah, and even then, maybe first excuse, fair enough, things do happen. But if the stories start recurring, for example, I'm just hearing from the link our daughter sent us that they had seen 25 different properties.
Mm-hmm.
And each one of them, there was something as to why he couldn't go ahead to close. So for me, by the time we get to maybe the third, I will start, alarm bells will start ringing in my mind. And if you've lived with somebody for that long, had she not seen his payslip before? Had she not seen his bank statement before?
Mm-hmm. So it wasn't just to do with the houses. I mean, as Marie said, if it's 3, I will start questioning, let alone 4, 5, 6, all the way to 25 houses. And you are not questioning why he can't buy a house, a simple house. Simple in quotation marks. And then not to do with houses alone. We're now looking at his job where he says he's the managing director of whatever, so and so. The previous school that he went to where he said he was a football player, but there's no record of it. And then so many other lies. Why aren't you being able to join all these dots to tell yourself a story and wait till it's too late? My answer from my point of view is that she was blinded by love. I think she'd got to a stage in her life, without being too judgmental, she had got to a stage in her life that she was looking for love, and when she found what she wanted, she was blinded by it, and therefore maybe wasn't seeing it from the point of view that she's now seeing it from. Because when she was deep in it, I think she wasn't seeing most of the red flags that she's now seeing. Because at one point she said that when she got pregnant, and the guy said that he was the managing director and made a personal assistant speak to her,
mm-hmm.
and she went through losing the baby, that even drew her closer to the guy. And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, because it's an emotional thing when you lose a child.
But now, having come out of the situation, she's now saying that is what really even gave the thing away, when he wasn't there for her when she was even pregnant, or when she needed to be taken to hospital. So now she's seeing it from a total different point of view. That is why the question is love really blind? Does love really blind us in seeing certain things?
I think love does. Yeah, it blinds people. Because as we said last week, you're able to override your feelings. You're able to override your emotions. As Eric said, they're all choices, and we choose to make these choices. So on one hand, yes, she losing the baby, she's thinking this is our baby. So if I've lost it, we've both lost a child, and it brought them together in a way. Subsequently, she's given it a thought as time is passing, and as they say, time heals. Time will make things clearer, bring clarity.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that as time was passing after losing the baby, certain things must have happened to bring her mind back to the fact that she wasn't being supported enough, which could probably have been one of the causes or the reasons for which she miscarried or lost a child. Or maybe somebody brought something to her attention, because guys like that as well, in particular, from what I've heard, they make you you lose everybody around you.
Mm-hmm.
They want you for themselves so much, for their own selfish agenda. So it's like, no friends. They keep you away from your family.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go visit family. It's like, oh, why don't we spend time together? And these are some of the red flags. It's not about why don't we spend time together. It's not about you're not giving time to the relationship or you're not giving time to the marriage. There's an element of selfishness in there.
Yeah.
So I think that's something people need to look out for as well. If you're with a guy or a lady who doesn't like it when you're giving yourself some personal space or some personal time, that in itself is a red flag. And the way they do it is by emotionally blackmailing you by saying, oh, you're not giving time to the relationship these days, you're not here enough, it's like you're not paying attention, we've not been doing dates nights, we've not been sometimes just
I mean, in as much as date nights and spending time together is really important and key, you also need your me time, and it's really important that you do spend time on your own by yourself or pursuing other ventures that does not involve the two of you. That's where you get fulfilled as well. It needs to be balanced. Relationship is all about balancing. And I think the way to go forward in relationships is to use your heart as well as your head. When you're going into a relationship, don't just follow your heart. Don't just go deeply in love to the extent that you forget about where your head is. And you're not seeing anything wrong with the person. Everything he does is perfect. Everything she does is perfect. Begin to use your head as well, because we did mention last week or the last video that marriage or relationships are for the long term. It's not just a one-day wonder. So make sure that the choices that you are making are really choices that would benefit the both of you for the long term.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as Eric was speaking, something just came into my mind that this lady was able to come to that point of realization to eventually leave this relationship also is a proof that as human beings we do evolve. And it's something we have to mention, because couples need to understand that as time goes by, every human being grows. We grow in our thinking, we grow physically, emotionally, spiritually, we grow in all facets of life. We're supposed to be growing, so who you got married to 25 years ago, who you started dating 6 months ago, might not be the same person 25 years later or 6 months later. And as the relationship is progressing, things will definitely change. How they see you from how they how they see you 25 years later will not be the same as how they saw you 25 years ago. And that is allowed because we are human beings. So if certain changes start happening in the marriage or in the relationship, this is where it's important to discuss it.
Effective communication is
talk about them.
Yes.
Otherwise, then anything can happen. And I'm sure this is what must have happened in their relationship. That as difficult as it is for some of us to try and understand why she stayed for so long, it also goes to show that we do grow. Eventually, she got out, which is the most important thing.
I think she was even lucky, because from the time they married, it was just 6 months. Within 6 months, they were divorced. But then why she stayed for too long can be ascribed to the number of lies that were packed within that short space of time, isn't it? And she still stayed.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. Obviously, it was the lies that made her stay, because somewhere within her, she was choosing to believe him. She was accepting.
Choosing to believe him.
Yeah. Maybe with a hope. Maybe she knew he was a liar, but with the hope that he was going to change. Again, this proves that nobody can change another human being,
That's one of the biggest mistakes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trying to change your partner, thinking that you can change your partner.
So for me, I think that the fact that she eventually gathered the courage to leave is a positive. It's a plus.
Yeah.
And well done to her. However, as I said, it proves a lot about us as human beings and about relationships, that we do evolve. Nothing is constant. We all do wish that we stay together, as they say in the vows, till death do us part. But if things are happening and it gets to a point where you really cannot deal with them anymore, and you think it's going to affect who you are as a person, and you've discussed, you've communicated, you've sought help, counseling, everything, and it's not going to work, hey, you do a Teresa. You leave for your own safety, because relationships like that, only God knows if she had stayed, how it would have ended, and I fear for the worst, but thank God she's out now. So
great. So guys, let's know what you think about this, and subscribe to our channel, And until our next video, have a great
On
weekend.
Monday.
And God bless you. Peace
Take
out.
care.